Hello again, this is David at MBA Tutorials, and today we're going to talk about the Fisher effect. It's a very simple tool that you can use. So let's go straight into it, to the formula. The Fisher effect, the formula is 1 plus R equals 1 plus R times 1 plus H, where capital R equals the nominal rate, little r or small r equals the real rate of return, and h equals the inflation rate. Now, this tool is very useful when you're investing in like stocks or any type of investment where you have a nominal rate or nominal return, but then you have the inflation rate that you have to deal with, uh, which can actually uh, lessen or alter the real rate of return. So, for example, if you decide to invest in an ETF and they're advertising, oh, our ETF has a uh, nominal rate of return of 20%, well, you know that there's going to be inflation throughout the year, most likely. And so that inflation rate is going to take it down a little bit. So you will have a slightly different rate of return. Even though you're earning the nominal rate of 20%, if the inflation rate is, say, 5%, you're going to have less buying power by the end of the year. Okay, let's go ahead and go straight into our first question. It says, if investors require a 10% real rate of return and the inflation rate is 8%, what is a nominal rate? Okay, so let's start off by writing our first formula. Let's see, 1 plus r equals 1 plus a little r times, let's see, 1 plus h. Okay, so if you recall, the big R is our nominal rate of return. This is the small r is our real rate of return, and then the h is our inflation rate. Okay, so we have 1 plus r, and it's asking us to figure out what the nominal rate is, which that's what that is. So we have 1 plus, and our real rate of return is 10%, so we're going to write 0.1 times, and we have our inflation rate of 8%, so that's going to be 0.08. And so now it's just a matter of doing the math. So we have 1 plus r, and I'm going to go ahead and multiply this on the calculator. 1.1 times 1.08. That gives us 1.18. Oops, 1.188. All right. So we can subtract the 1 from r, so that's going to be subtract 1, subtract 1. So that's going to leave us with a nominal rate of return equals to 0.18. See, 1.88. And if we convert that to a percentage, that's going to be approximately 18.8%. So we have our investors require a 10% real rate of return. The inflation rate is 8%. And so our nominal rate, that is what our investment is predicted to be, is going to be 18.8%. So just imagine, like I said, buying into an ETF or any type of maybe a stock or something, and they're saying, oh, it's going to increase by 18.8%. It's going to have a nominal return of 18.8%, and then that includes the 8% inflation rate that you might be experiencing over the year. And then, of course, you have your real rate of return, which is only 10%. Let's do another example. Let's go to the... All right, let's go into question number 2. It says, say you own an asset that had a total return last year of 10.7%. If the inflation rate last year was 3.7%, what was your real return? So we're going to set up the formula again. Let me get out of the eraser. All right. So we have, whoops, let's change the color there. All right, so we have 1 plus R equals, that's going to be 1 plus small r times 1 plus h. Please excuse the writing. All right, so we just fill in the numbers. So we know what the real rate of, we know what the total return last year was. The total return would be the same as your nominal return. So that's going to be 1.107. All right, and it's the real rate of return. That's what we're asking for. So we don't actually know what that is. So we're just going to put 1 plus R. And then we have our inflation rate. And the inflation rate was 3.7%. So we have 1.037. All right, so now it's just a matter of doing this algebraically. We can divide this side by 1.037. Those two cancel out. So we go to the other side, divide by 1.037. And let's see, what does that give us? All right, we put that into the calculator. And that's going to give us about 1.0675. That's going to be our real rate of return. We can convert that into percentage. So we subtract the 1, so minus 1, that's 0.0675, or 6.75%. Okay, so that was our real rate of return after inflation has been accounted for. Okay, so that's very easy. All right, thank you for your time, and stay tuned for more videos. And feel free to leave any comments or suggestions or likes if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.